Good evening, TNT family. We're here with Shady Weeks and
Shadi.
Shady Weeks. I'm sorry, Shady Weeks, and she's part of the All Cancer Group out of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a new organization. And I guess it started about a year ago, and we're trying to give her some support and bring awareness of what she's trying to accomplish in Trinidad in reference to cancer and some other health issues there in Trinidad. So, Shadi, I want to welcome you to UNC USA. As everyone knows, our Prime Minister is very big on healthcare and upgrading the level of service delivery to our people. There's so much work to be done. So the things that you're doing is very much appreciated by all of us. And we want to give you as much support as possible. So I want to welcome you to UNC USA and tell us about your upcoming event on May 17th. First, I want you to introduce yourself and give a little background of your organization, and then you could tell us about the event on May 17th upcoming.
Okay, great. So good night, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Dr. Mahabir, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. So my name
No,
is
no,
Shadi.
doctor.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Gary. Gary's good enough.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to share on your platform. Like he would have said, everyone, my name is Shadi Weeks, and I'm the CEO of the All Cancers Group, TT, a nonprofit organization that started about 2 years ago, established December 2023. 3 years after I would have my own battle with breast cancer. I was diagnosed in 2020 at stage 3 and went through 16 cycles of chemo, 3 surgeries, and radiation therapy sessions, and came out on the other side. Um, I'm now on oral medication and healthy and trying to stay that way, right? So the vision for the All Cancers Group was really to show support, not just to raise awareness and education and stuff like that, but to really show support for cancer patients, survivors, and their caregivers. I highlight those three because there's a transition that you go through from cancer patient to survivor, and then after survivorship, how do you handle life after the mental health aspect, the emotional and physical trauma that you go through, after going through invasive treatments with cancer. It's a lot. And we also focus on bridging the gap and the communication between the caregivers and the survivors, because your support system is important, but being able to take care of somebody or what somebody go through cancer is not easy as well. So cancer doesn't just happen to us, it happens to everyone around us. So we are heavily advocating for the family dynamic where cancer is concerned, and that support system, and trying to really upgrade and support the cancer community in those ways as well. So our event is the May 17th. It's called Lean on Me. We are having it in May because May is officially Mental Health Awareness Month. So it's a mental health and cancer seminar. So we have psychologists and specialists coming out and surgeons coming to talk about cancer, but also to talk about the mental health aspects of cancer. So it's healing beyond the diagnosis, right? Like I said, how do we fear with living life now? Because it's not normal for us anymore physically at any standard, because we still go through a lot of other health issues after that we have to deal with, for years after doing treatment. So this seminar is going to really be an atmosphere of hope and healing and encouragement for everyone, not just survivors, but their families, their friends, the caregivers, and to come out, learn, and to get some tips and information on how to cope mentally with cancer during and after, and how to take care of yourself mentally during that time, because half the battle is always here where when battling cancer. It's not just the treatment, but mentally it's important to be positive and have a support system. So we want to start creating that, and start our support group services for cancer survivors after that event as well. So it's going to be a day from 8:30 to 3 p.m. of a lot of expert information and expert panels. We're going to have doctor from from oncology in San Fernando, Dr. Bagalu. We have an expert panel coming and survivors coming to share, myself included. You would get breakfast, lunch, snack in the afternoon. We have, it's a nice day of relaxation where you're going to really get to catered for mentally and physically. So we have massages. We're going to have an information and counseling corner. We are partnering with the Safe Place Family Life Enrichment Center, which is a counseling organization, to really support and create that sense of network and family amongst, survivors and caregivers and so on. Yeah,
So,
that's
so now we want to, we want to lend as much support, even though we are overseas. And one of the things I'm trying to do on this platform is to bring our people across the globe, our diaspora, to get engaged in what's taking place in TNT and to connect our people like yourself with our people outside the country. So because there will be a lot of people who's interested. So
yes,
at the end of this program, I want you to give out your information, how you can be reached, and I want you to give the actual address of this location where the event is,
yes,
the center where it is at and what's taking place. Definitely, we all know that the support system, we need to build a stronger support structure for people in Trinidad, for healthcare, for social issues. And cancer definitely does connect to mental health because it does have a mental and psychological impact on people.
mm,
And it can make you very depressed, and then the drills with the treatment,
yes, yes.
it is very hectic and and difficult for a person. It's not easy. So I first of all, I want to congratulate you on your survival of it, and I want to
Thank you so
congratulate
much.
you on the effort that you have made with this event and the organization. And I also have with us here, ladies and gentlemen, Fazia out of Toronto, Fazia Khan. Fazia Khan is a nurse, and we have Mr. Suman also with us. And Fazia and Suman, if you have any questions or any contribution you would like to make at this point, I would like to encourage you to do so now.
Well, I can share Shali's concern because we have a cancer trust group as well, home by us. They promote Serum Singh Cancer Trust Fund. Since 2008, my brother died from cancer, a young kid, and his wife just set up that was his last wish, to set up a center in his memoriam. So that has been going on for the past 15 years or so. We have had it. Actually, more than it's 18 years. And we do a lot of health fairs around, where we incorporate a lot of the same, basically what Shadi was saying, but we have a lot of doctors come and do like check everything. I mean, not only for cancer, but for
General screening.
ophthalmologists as well as neurology, cardiac, all the complaints with lifestyle diseases and so on, lectures. In fact, Dr. Bodo, our health minister, he always come. He's our neighbor right across the road.
Wow.
So he always heads it. He went to school. We normally do it in the school or in the sports club, where he is also a member of the sports club. So he kind of coordinated a lot of the doctors around. I have a lot of families who are doctors as well. So we do that outreach program, and we there helping people as much as we can. So I can understand that when somebody has cancer, it involves 8 or 10 people, close members of the family.
Yes.
A lot of them have sleepless nights. A lot of them has to take care of other things and shuffle between their work, taking care of the patient, coming and spending time with him or her, you know, um, trying to get the best diet and so on for the person. Some days you have appetite to eat, and some days you don't eat for 2, 3 days, and
Yeah.
you know how it is with those things. So most times when you go to work, you go to work with a heavy heart, not knowing what the next day brings or the evening brings. because it's just like that. Some days are good and some days you're really down, and it impacts on the rest of the family members as well, especially if you're a close-knit family or you live close around that, where the patient is. It's, every day you kind of taken up after work. Sometimes when you now come from work in the night, spend time with the person and so on. It's a really long outreach, difficult time, and it's unless somebody goes through it, everybody just a lot of people have cancer, and that tap you on your back and go ahead. But only when you experience these things personally, then I guess your concept of life changes.
We also have This is Dr. Parum Miraj, and he's out of Venezuela, and he specializes in a lot of different fields. And so one of the things I am recognizing, there's a rise of cancer in Trinidad a lot more than we used to see or hear about when we were growing up. We didn't even know what cancer was, in fact, when we was growing up. But one of the things that was brought to my attention is the how to say the issues with the oil extract that seems to be causing some issues with our seafood and contamination.
Yeah.
It's not properly being held, how to say, controlled, and the cleanup is not being properly done, and there's a lot of exposure of chemicals that could be affecting and causing the rise of this cancer situation. But we're going to go back to our healthcare structure, where we definitely need much more support that it is there, and whether it's in the hospital or out of the hospital, there is a lot of room for things being upgraded, and the support is needed. And definitely we want to see that. Fazia was about a year. She spent about a year in Trinidad within our healthcare system. So Fazia, if you want to make a little contribution here at this point, this kind of add to what you feel that is needed.
Thank you, Gary, for having me. Like Gary said, I spent a year at West Shore Medical Private Hospital. I was the director of nursing there for a year before I came back during COVID. And there is a huge gap in our present healthcare system when it comes to public awareness, public teaching, and preventative medicine. Our statistics are really high, the highest in the Caribbean for diabetes, number one, and it's also high for cancer and high hypertension, all these chronic illness, all these preventable illnesses and diseases. And what Shady is doing, I think, is filling a little bit of that gap in terms of having a support system, because that's pretty much unknown in Trinidad. Like, we don't know anything about support systems as we should know. Like, we go to the physician, we go to the hospital, we come back home with, some medicines in the package, and that's all you know. There's no health teaching, there's no diet teaching, there's no structure of what needs to be followed or what needs to be done if you get worse. Like, there's no follow through. And I think a lot has to do with the structure of our healthcare system. For example, up here in the United States and Canada, I have my family doctor, and then I have specialists who I may be referred to for whatever reason. If I were to go back to my family doctor a year from now, he will have every single consult note in his file from all my specialists. Every single test that I've done, he would have it in this file. Every diagnostic I've done, he would have it in his file. In Trinidad, there's no such structure. I will have to go to 10 different doctors and get 10 different tests done in 1 year because nobody communicates my information to my family doctor. Well, I have 2 family doctors. So a lot of the information is missing. And, when our healthcare system doesn't communicate to provide like a centralized holding area for our medical records and a centralized spot for disseminating information to the public, we have a big issue. Because the public is not aware, the public is not educated well enough to know the choices that they have to make and what they can do to prevent or treat illnesses and diseases. And I found that out as well when I came back home about 7 years ago to do my master's thesis in diabetes and diabetic treatments in Trinidad. A lot of the patients who I interviewed were not educated about the illness and disease, was not really sure how the medication worked that they were taking for diabetes, and wanted more information. I had done a list, almost about 17 or 18 recommendations for the Ministry of Health regarding public health awareness, public teaching, on what the actual patients themselves wanted, what they said they needed to help them look after themselves better. And those are things I outlined in a thesis that I gave to actually the ministry, the local ministry in Sandy Grande at that time, about what we can do and explore to actually help, shorten that gap, in that knowledge gap with the public in terms of chronic health illness and disease. So yes, Shady, back to you. I'm happy that you created this organization. It's going to help a lot of people as long as they know about you and they're aware of what you're doing, because you pulled in so many people in such a short time to have this free seminar, this free day you're having in May 17th. I think a lot of people benefit from it. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I will say though, the seminar is actually $100 to come to the seminar. You're right. It's no problem. So we do, because just to offset some of the costs for the things that we're having, but we put it at the cheapest possible cost so that persons can be encouraged to come, and where they really can't, we offer them the ticket freely, because we really want them to benefit from coming to the event.
Yes.
We have the breakout sessions, especially for men. We have two surgeons, and one of them, Dr. Rishi Ramraj and Dr. Kirk Gooden, that will be talking about prostate and colorectal cancer in a private space with the men, because it's a touchy subject. Men don't really like to talk about those things, so we wanted to make the space comfortable. So we're going to have breakout special sessions for the survivors and cancers and the caretakers, and then for the men, so that they can get the information in a space where they can feel comfortable to talk and share this type of information. So it's not hard and fast. Of course, we want to sell the tickets, but my heart, I want people to come to the event. So as much as support that we can get, so that way we can, sponsor persons to just come to the event and experience the day and get the information, get the help. We have a counseling corner that will be there, so that they can actually go and talk to persons there and register to get counseling if they want to. It's going to be available. Yeah, it's going to be a really wonderful day at the Oasis Garden Terrace in San Fernando, 101 Circular Road, San Fernando. It's a really, really wonderful location. So I really hope that I would get the support that is needed, and persons come out and just be a part and experience the day. Yeah.
Also, if you may wish, you can also contact the fire services so they can come and do like what we normally do as well. Have like CPR training or CPR awareness. So if somebody get really ill, you know what to do in a case of an emergency.
Right.
Just in case like that.
Definitely will do that.
And also a dietitian, a couple of dietitians as well, who knows what sort of diet is normally prescribed. I don't think there is anything much, but it's good to have some dietitian, because they ask you, what can you eat? Everybody when they say, what can you eat? What can you not eat?
Yeah, and that's the diet aspect of it. I got healthier, weirdly enough, after getting cancer, because I had no choice but to take care of myself. Yeah. I got diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, after the steroids from chemo. It affected me more than that we were paying attention to. So when I tested my sugar after I would have finished chemo, the nurse told me, it's like, your sugar is like 500 and something. Are you okay? My A1C was like 15.7%.
Oh.
So she was kind of shocked that I was walking around, because I was normal. I didn't eat anything for the morning. So, it's all of those things I learned over the years are connected with your health and how you eat. So, but it's just been, we still have to get a dietitian, because some of them are not available on the day specifically.
Correct. Yes.
But when we have the health fair as well, always make sure to have that incorporated. And our health fair is going to be on the 27th of September. It's going to be an annual thing. So we definitely always going to make sure to have the health and the nutrition, the diet is important, because my lifestyle has changed completely now because of that. So it's something to make sure to give people information on, because a lot of what we eat kind of affects some of the diseases and the sicknesses that we get, that and they don't know your lifestyle and how you eat and how that affects us. So
Well,
Yes,
they always say what you eat is what you are, and it's like a car with what kind of gas and oil you put in it is going to affect the durability of the
performance.
vehicle.
Yeah, Gary,
Yeah, so
that's why I recommended having the health card faster to get around some of the problems, where records are scattered here and there. If you have a health card, and every time you go to the doctor, whether private or public, in the public sector, your information is in the card. So the last person or the last doctor or a new doctor who you may be referred to go to, he can put in the card and see all the sort of treatments or sort of medication you took and what time lapse and this sort of thing. So you don't have to chase, and in your case, as you said, to go and visit your 10 doctors to get 10 different reports. That alone is a hassle.
Yeah, that alone,
but we
it's
need
a
the
hassle and
infrastructure.
costly, very
We need the
costly.
technological infrastructure built out there to support that healthcare. And so there is where the technology come in. There's where
And the health card, I proposed
yeah.
that, and luckily it was included in the manifesto which they put out for the health.
Yeah, but we have to build out that infrastructure, Mr. Suman. Now we have
Yeah,
to build out that infrastructure,
yeah.
the mainframes and the website and everything
Data,
has to be built out.
database, they need the database and
Yeah.
structure it in a way where you have, access. Let's say I'm in South, that at least my data is mostly will be South SWRHA in San Fernando. If I'm in East, it will be EHRA down Grande or that side. So it's kind of localized. You still have access to any of the regional health authorities or any of the hospitals, but when it's more localized, sometimes it's easier to get or call a doctor close by if he was the last person who saw you, and have a
So I mean,
one-to-one.
you would have to have several how to say mainframe areas that you will will support the infrastructure has to be, I mean, more than one location to kind of, because it's going to be a
Oh
heavy
yes,
loaded
yes.
system.
That's why they spread it around. Have a distributed system, distributed network system. So SWRHA different, ERHA different from
Yeah,
Northwest.
that should all should come under one under
And
the
then
Ministry of
now,
Health.
and then
Right.
now you have a centralized, which is the centralized body, but fast and easy access, do the distributed system. And
Yeah, so
so
And then
that's
they all should be able to communicate with each other.
correct. It's already the master always have the master, but Southwest have their separate, Eastern have their like that. So
Yeah, it should be.
accessibility.
Correct.
That's just for accessibility.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
should there be flooding down south, at least
Correct.
in north you can see that they will still have the record.
Correct. Yeah.
we could probably put it up in where Mount St. Benedict over there, so it doesn't get flooded out, right?
Sure, right.
And
Make
then the
sure you have
satellite can transmit from
satellite.
up there, the mainframe station.
But that's what they did for schools like in Cedros and Toko and Wire, where we really didn't have no internet footprint in those areas. So we had to use satellite technology to get internet access to the secondary schools so that we could distribute the laptops there. So that the children there, nobody left behind, so to speak.
So don't forget, we have the three sisters, the hills, the three mountains. So each one could have a satellite dish to kind of boost the signal, right? So I mean, the infrastructure has to be properly well thought out.
Yes.
But the database must be centralized to the Ministry of Health. This is where I see it, and the healthcare, and no matter what division of the healthcare, whether it's ERH, or Southwest Regional, or Northwest Regional, whatever it is, it should all fall under the same database, and support it, because then they're gonna have you. Oh, that's south, that's east. We want to eliminate all this madness and running around,
No,
and build a centralized database that all the system is uploaded, but it has different division, with the infrastructure.
yeah, but
Because
but in Trinidad, Gary, you have to be realistic. There is one island you got to be realistic on,
only
accessibility.
50 by 100. Only
Yeah,
by a,
but it has 50 by 100 different persons who will do can screw up your record manually and,
you
you
has
know,
to have a backup system. But what I'm saying to you, the network, the framework should be under the Ministry of Health.
yes, I agree with that. I agree with
It
that. And
can't be ERHA and Southwest Regional and Northwest and Central. It has to be under the Ministry of Health, one database, but this different is broken up into different support structure. And you're going to need those data entry people. You're going to need the engineers. You're going to need technical support. But all this is jobs that you're upgrading the service level for the people. But something has to be built out. We all come together, and all these ideas can be put together and recommended to our new government, which definitely has the interest. This is the purpose we changed government. We didn't change government to maintain status quo, but so we are trying to encourage everybody to come on board to bring their ideas and support the you know the needs of the people at this stage, because a lot of help is needed, especially where Shady is doing there. She is new to the business, and as much help as we can give her. Shady, before you leave here, I would like you to give out your numbers so that is that your number on the flyer?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it is.
also, and you can also repeat it, and we'll put it in the system here that the people knows how to reach you internationally if they would like to contribute to your foundation. I want to encourage that because that is very much needed. When you have people to take care of, and to worry about the funding, it's very difficult. So
Yes,
we want to
correct.
encourage that financial support in your direction, and that's what I see. Dr. Puram, you want to add anything to this conversation at this point?
Yes, well, I see the structure is no good. Here in Venezuela, we have something like the national insurance. All right. I don't know very good about the national insurance in Trinidad, but the national insurance here, that where you pay, everyone who works pays a small amount there. Now, this organization is in charge of in how you say, in treating, getting the treatment, all treatment of high cost to the patient. That is a benefit of a citizen, no? All the citizens have that, and it is totally free. You don't have but when you are in a state, for example, I'm in Monagas, Maturin, and you need treatment, you have to make the registration, and is one place you make the registration only, and that goes nationally. So if you are in Sangre Grande, you have cancer, and you have to register in Port of Spain. But from Port of Spain, they have they will have a branch in Sangre Grande that you receive all the medication and all the medication that you need
that
to.
that problem is the ideal thing, but everybody from South, starting from Cedros or Moruga, have to go to St. James.
Yes, but now we have everything. All the information is centralized. Now you cannot go from one state to another state and receive the treatment. No, it's where you are locally. So this is where we avoid fraud, because these medications is almost $5,000-6,000 for one. The government now takes that work to do. Now, as scientists, we have here technology that when we detect cancer, we should also educate men and women, right? Men are more stubborn than women, and men think they don't get the breast cancer as well. No, we have technology here. When we detect you with cancer, you get treated as well right away. And it disappears. Stage 1, stage 2 disappears. Stage 3, we bring it down to stage 2, but it takes time. No, as you say that the cancer patient. Yes, I had a cancer patient who did not know that he had cancer. We did not tell him anything. His family wished not to tell him anything. And already past 15 years and he's all good. Cancer is something that activates you. It activates mentally. So this patient has to have a proper mental health care. Also, the family suffers more than the patient itself as well, has to have a proper health, a proper guidance health. Now, I always say, the enemy of cancer is oxygen, heat, and carbs, carbohydrates, and starch, and sugar. Principally sugar, glucose, right? So we have special diet, we have special treatment to reverse cancer, right? And the healthcare system has to all of these problems of cancer patients is on the way you eat, or you have a genetical problem that the gene is there, but it is to activate, whether by your eating habit or by environmental ways, right? You said you had 500 and something in your glucose. Well, that's amazing, because you enter in coma 450 to 500 and you don't get out. So I'm very proud to meet you. You are like a patient I met, 105 years old man. I took out pictures of him because he's 105 years old. And then after I met the next one, 108 years old. Plenty picture. You are like that to me, right? Picture.
Thank you.
You are what we call a guerrero, a survivor, a strong one. And I encourage you as well to encourage the other person. It is not when you say to a patient that he has cancer, they think it is the end of everything. No, it is not.
Yes.
It's not. Completely not everything. Now, we also treat cancer here with stem cells. We program the stem cells to depending on the grade of cancer, if it's T4, T3, right? It all depends, and it works. Now, oxygen therapy is very...
Hold for a second, Doc. Sumant, can you mute your phone and get some background noise from your area there while they're speaking, until you're ready to talk?
Let me go
your
to
area.
the
Oh, it's your area. Okay.
Yes, let me go to the room just now. So,
Are you still at work? Okay.
No, I just reached home now. My baby is there.
Oh, okay.
He's the future doctor here. Right.
Oh,
So,
okay.
the treatment we have here is also totally for free. I never seen in Trinidad there's a cancer association there that helps the people. Now, all these why cancer spread so fast in Trinidad is because they don't have a proper system of records. Which meaning is family doctor has to have the control completely, right? Family medicine to give the instruction and follow up on what is to be done. Now, some patients do this assisted do not go for further treatment because of the running around it has. That's what goes on in Trinidad, right? Am I right or not? Right?
Shady, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is,
running around and the lack of follow up, the lack of support, the lack of reminders.
Yes.
Get blood work done, come back at this time. It's a lot because my mom, just to give an example, she also is dealing with breast cancer. She has Mets, and she has to go to the hospital on a Friday to get blood work, come back on a Monday to collect it, go back the following Friday to get treatment. Why?
so how quick is that blood work available? The results? How quick is that blood work available to the people?
Blood work should be back within a few hours. It doesn't take 2 days to get blood work. Within a few
Right.
hours.
But when I say in Trinidad, how quick is it available to you?
You can get it within a few hours. You can.
No,
If
I
you
mean
go
you
to a
can, but
private lab, you get it.
how long is it taking for we to get the results right now? What's the status of things?
It takes a week, Gary. A
It
week.
A
takes,
My
week.
sister.
and in some instances, I would say, and this, I try to be honest with my experience as well too, because I mean, my faith had a big part to play in keeping me through that experience. But the San Fernando, the hospital itself is so flooded with so many patients. They I believe that they're overwhelmed with the amount of patients, and then we know with the lack of certain types of structures that would probably help that. It took really long for me to get the results for biopsies and stuff like that that I needed to get in a timely manner. Cancer is a time is something that you have to time. So you can't take too long with certain results, because by the time you get that result, you could have already
Your word.
progressed.
Reach the
know?
next stage, yes.
And I experienced that, unfortunately. So, I had to go privately to make sure that I got, and within that week, I mean, after spending an exorbitant amount of money, like about $8,000, I got a definitive answer as to what was going on with me.
But
to
it
be
took you about a week.
Yeah, it took within a week. I did the biopsy the same week, and I got the results the same week.
That's a
Right.
private.
This was
That's a
private.
private.
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does San Fernando? I mean, I left Trinidad a long time. So does San Fernando have a lab there, or the blood work has to go somewhere else?
Not sure. I can't say for
Funny,
sure. I'm not sure.
funny enough, my sister had to go last week, and when she went last week, they told her to come back this week. So she said no. She went and did it privately right in Gulf City there, and get it done, because it's exactly what Shadi is saying. This thing
Crazy.
you can't trust. You don't know. A day,
Yeah.
a week, a month is a
They
big
should
difference.
never have to
in
send a cancer patient back home to come up for tests. They should
And
be
this
given
not-
priority.
Well, that is only part of it. She left home Pfizer to go St. James, and then when you reach there, they tell you, oh, one of the medication is that they have to come back another
Oh
time.
my
So
God.
these are the things.
This is a nonsense that happens. This is a nonsense
Exactly.
that happens.
No
There's no
structure,
respect.
no
No
system,
respect.
no
There's
There's no
nothing
respect.
organized. There's nothing in place. You should never run out of life-saving drugs. Like
And
And is it possible that we understaffed too, right? Is it possible that we understaffed very much?
No. When UNC was there, they had an outreach center, a satellite office in Marabella. So you could
Okay,
go
no, I mean, but
Marabella.
no, yeah, UNC just came back, but I'm saying they must have cut the staff to kind of cause the backup, right? Is that what it
10
took
years.
place?
10 years
Yeah.
was
Now,
pain.
we have to understand that cancer for some organizations a business, a
Oh,
very
yeah.
big business,
Yeah.
right? So the medications are very high cost.
Right.
Now we have developed here one of I am very proud to say one of my students have developed a machine that eliminate breast cancer. It locates the cancer where it is, and it goes in, and with he freezes the cancer, and the cancer cells die. When they die, what happens? It gets to liquid form, and then it goes to the body. The body takes it out without any surgery. It is almost 100%. It is 100% safe, and but there is a lot of demands for it. So we are looking more investing in more in fabricating more of this machine, right? What is the high rate as well of cancer? Trinidad is a very small country, man, very small. Is that the patient is not being attended at time? That
Well,
is
time
what
is everything, but we might be exposed with all the industrial estates and the oil production there
Yeah.
and the waste.
The
There
waste.
has been a lot of issues with the contamination, so we need these things to be checked. The testing, the water testing, the soil testing. Environmental testing needs to be done also on top of the people eating right. I mean, we eating bad habits as strayed away from the old customary way where we had planned and eat our own things many years ago. So
Okay,
I mean,
look at Gary, look at the water system in Trinidad. What it has, the chemicals that it uses is cancerous, right? And there's a restaurant in Trinidad. I don't want to say the name to avoid conflict,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
fries
right.
his chicken with there you will understand. He fries his chicken in oil that is not good for human consumption, right? That is cancerous. And we have no no control or no supervision in the public, but you say la
I
comida
understand what you're
rápida,
saying.
public restaurants, no supervision. They
Mm.
use the same oil again and again, but
This is
that same
where quality control and inspector should be coming in. Health inspectors
Right.
coming in and doing
They
these
do
quality
that.
contrdos on
Yeah.
a monthly
Like
or
Food
They
and
do
Drug
that
bi-monthly
here in
Administration.
Miami. They do that here in
We don't
Miami.
have
Most
that.
of the restaurants and
We don't have that in
no.
Trinidad. That has to come
Yeah.
in
No.
to prevent what you're saying.
that is not there. So the other thing is of not only treating cancer in the cancer facility is preventing the cancer as well. Prevention is better than a cure, right? So
Definitely.
the infrastructure, it's like a big circle, right? Big circle. But we have to have I spend whole day speaking Spanish and my tongue is reddened up. The infrastructure has to be built in a way and has to be maintained. One thing is maintenance and next thing is building. Now, your foundation is the word correct foundation, fundación, no? Has to
Yeah.
be maintained. Miss
Shady.
Michelle.
Shady, I'm sorry,
Shadi,
Shady. Yeah, Shady. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Michari. Your foundation, okay, it's open, but now it is a very high cost to maintain it. And this now, my dear friend, this is where our Prime Minister will help us a lot. And she's very, very open wide to health organizations, right?
You know,
Yes.
that's part of the mission, and that is what we're looking forward to in upgrading. And everyone's ideas, everyone's feedback of what's taking place. The more information we have, is the better the understanding of how we can proceed, as far as I see, to resolving the issues. Right? We have to know there's issues. We have to know more about the issues and where the issues are located. Right? So, but
Right.
as much information as we can gather, and as much people like yourself, Dr. Parum, and we, for instance, Suman Singh can help us with the infrastructure, technological infrastructure, database, making sure that that infrastructure is built out, the medical experts on what has to be done, and the communication has to flow. But we definitely would need help with that infrastructural part being built, the mainframes, the database being built out. Make sure it's up and running, make sure there's electrical power,
Mm-hmm.
there to feed the satellite dish to feed the system. So we have a lot to do. We have a lot of work to do, and I want to thank Shadi for taking the time. Shadi, is there anything else you want to add to us? Tell us more about your organization. Anything else you want to bring to us?
Just not really. I think I said everything. We are there to really help, everyone, regardless of your socioeconomic means. We want persons, young, old, irrespective of, where you come from, regardless of your religion or your religious background or your political affiliations. Cancer is irrespective of that. It doesn't care about those things. So come to the event, support the organization, not just financially, but you can also volunteer services. We want to provide tangible services for patients while they're doing chemo, therapeutic services to help them get through those treatments a lot more easier, because it's not like we said earlier, it's not easy on your body. So, volunteer services, if you're somebody that does massages or
Definitely, I want to see that. I want to see the volunteering there. Yeah.
volunteer. You can reach me at my number 372-3635, or you can always check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and DM us at the allcancersgroup.tt, and send us a message. Let us know that you would like to, get volunteer the service, and we can work together and let's partner together and let's show solidarity in really, really getting the numbers that we're seeing down with cancer diagnosis down, and really create a support group for the survivors that are out there. There are many support groups, but people just don't know about them, and they're out there, and they need to be shown a lot more and be a lot more vocal. So I'm really trying to shed light on that and create a network of support for survivors so that we can live a lot longer to our full potential as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Gary.
Okay.
That definitely is the mission here today, and the objective is to bring awareness of your organization and to let people know how they can reach you. I will connect you with the people here so that you have questions and they need help. We would
Yes.
definitely be a support system for you. We have a chat in the when you log on there, you could enter your number there also.
Yes.
There's a chat, enter the information there also so that it will be on the YouTube feed, and I will post it there. So
Sure.
with that, anything else, guys, that you would like to add at this point?
Yeah, Gary,
Yeah.
I would like to add something to say that we should start to do some big time research into the causes of cancer, especially in and around this the western area of Trinidad, where all these
In the Gulf, the Gulf area.
Gulf of
Well,
Paria, and you have to
yeah,
start with the effluent that flows into the sea. That's one thing.
the
The
oil
waste-
extracts. There's been a lot of oil spill. What we need is environmental testing, soil testing, water testing. The ocean has to be tested. The water has to be tested regularly, and the reports has to be documented. So these are
And
the
not-
kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's
these are the
necessary.
kind of things. One, and not only that, the seafood that's consumed from the Gulf of Paria, we don't know how healthy that is. And a lot of people along that western corridor, the western part of Trinidad, just eat a lot of seafood from the Gulf because that's the closest thing, and that's where all the fish markets are. I myself, when I was living down in Trinidad, all that fishing from Point 14 right down to Cali Bay there, that whole area is polluted with all these petrochemical plants in Point
Well,
Lisa.
we wasn't conscious growing up.
Not-
I know to these things, when we were younger,
So,
and the information wasn't broadcast. If there was a spill, we didn't know about it. Like today with social media, we know about it right away.
probably now it's 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, we've seen the after effects of consuming all these seafood from these pollutants in the water in the Gulf. We're not sure. Also, another thing is the drinking water, those pipelines,
Outdated.
not really outdated, the amount of chlorine and so on and is put into the water system to make it soft, what they call hard water to soft water. We don't know the long-term effects of these things, and a lot of people in my area there, when I was down south, they said it could be something in the water because, let me tell you, when I was growing up, they only had 2 persons with cancer in the whole village, the whole community. Now you can check in your hand, every other house or every third house has somebody either in some stage of cancer. How come that happen?
So it's in the food. It's in the food. It's in the soil. The soil contamination and all these things.
The food, the water, the consumption of the seafood, and the oils that you use for cooking, but it's seed oil and anything's hydrogenated oil and so on. So these things, no, I don't think enough research is done. So when you don't have that information, your public health awareness becomes retarded because you know how to advise people. You may tell them, well, diet and exercise. Yes, the person could be doing diet and exercise for 20 years. But because of the environment in which they live and what the foods they are consuming and so on, the water they are drinking, we all suppose it's the water from the line.
I remember here in New Jersey, there was a lot of radon in the soil where houses were built in new developments. They had to, the old oil tanks, I think they had to remove some of that and extract the dirt. So the environmental management, in Trinidad is lapsing. This is something that has to be restructured and enforced, and we want to raise the consciousness of this. And the environmental cleanup is something that is very much needed, in my point of view. And we are seeing the effects of it on our people, and we don't have the proper health care. Shadi, we are also pushing the idea of the emergency medical technician training, where not only the paid staff is properly trained, but we want to get our citizens with volunteers. I mean, we have a lot of young people that's educated, not doing nothing. So I
Yeah.
mean, the volunteering will also help them with experience, in life. And so we want to inform them that, and encourage them in this direction, that it's not a paid position. Yes, you got your degree and this and that and the other, and you're feeling you want to make big money, you want to make $1 million right away. But this information that you get by volunteering, whether it's with your organization or the emergency response um, uh, project, is something that it could help you for your life. So you would learn
Yeah.
something, you're making a contribution to your country, you're giving back to your country for the education they got free. I
Mm.
mean, things like that. Think about that way. So we want to engage our population in being, environmentally conscious. That you're providing information about eating healthy, which is, guidance on how to eat properly. You don't eat doubles all week. I mean, once a week might be all right for the doubles, but eating doubles every day, you clog up your arteries, right? And the oily food, when you're cooking, how much oil you put in it. So a lot of things. So I want to stay in touch with you, Shadi, on what you're doing, and then you could come back here. I could put you live within minutes. You have something to say that you want to bring on,
Yes.
to
Of
the
course.
people, and give you as much support so you can get support not only in Trinidad but internationally. With that. So, gentlemen, you have anything else? Fazia, Dr. Parum, anybody else
Yes.
have anything
I
to
was
say
just
You
before
see,
wondering.
we allow
you,
Shadi to go?
okay. Okay. Go ahead, doctor. Go ahead. And
No, I
I
was
think
just going to ask, do
phone
we have a
froze. Maybe his
Ministry of
internet froze.
Environment in
Fazia,
Trinidad?
everybody froze?
Um, I know, we have the Environmental Commission, but I'm not sure if we have the Ministry of Environment. I can't. I can't confirm that.
No, we don't have an Ministry of the Environment. We have an EME, Environmental Management
Management.
Authority. Yeah,
Authority.
that's just an authority without teeth. So
Yeah, so
no jurisdiction, no legal
that's
jurisdiction.
correct. That's
Yeah,
why no one's taking care of the environment or the
yeah,
oil spills or the shorelines or
correct.
anything or the water system. Yeah.
They are
okay.
very reactive. Reactive. Only when something happens, you hear
Yeah.
them that they exist. Not proactive at all.
I think a
Okay.
Ministry of Environment would be something that should be considered or something that should be looked into because we're a tiny island. We depend on tourism. We try to make our own, manage our food, and fishing is a big part of our diet and lifestyle.
Exactly.
That needs to be looked after and taken care of.
But all countries has to have by law an environment Ministry of Environment. No, that is law, and that has to be in place. Now, there's a scientist here. He always say cancer is so intelligent. He did not need to go to university, but yet he destroys us, and we have to fight him. Going to university, going by educating our people ourselves. That is what oncologists here said. Mr. Gary I would like to share my phone number with Miss how you say Miss
Shadi.
Miss
Shadi.
Shadi, so I can give her some guidance as well on oncologists here, so she can you can
Yeah,
help
I'll
yourself and
send your
help
number,
others.
but I'll send that number to you also, and we exchange
Yeah,
information on
and
that.
Okay.
So
the information is very very important. There are simple things to how you say to prevent the cancer patient. Here, a cancer patient takes only 45 minutes, no longer than 45 minutes to get all results done. right? And this health system, that system has to be implemented in Trinidad to avoid for how you say
Delay and deterioration.
delay and how you say deterioration, right?
Deterioration, yeah.
Deterioration, right? Yeah. Are you caught up? Hello?
No, I'm hearing.
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Well, also the environment has to be respected very highly. There's no respect for the environment. When you respect the environment, we respect ourselves, right? And there is laws that is placed here in Venezuela. You cannot make oil spill. You cannot throw gasoline or use certain chemicals in the environment. Now, if you look at the fertilizers that they use in Trinidad, is not qualified for human consumption. Well, human does not use consumption. It's not qualified to use to fertilize food for human consumption. That's the correct word I say, no? The correct word. So there has to be a good follow-up.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things we have to put in place, and like I said, our government has just been there a few days, and the ideas and suggestions we want to build on that and the recommendations so that we can give some guidance and support in what we're looking for. It's always good to remind them. I know they have a lot on their plate right now, but within a few months, the government should have things up and running. Flushing out all the glitches and issues that they're dealing with there currently. So with that. Shadi, I want to thank you for taking the time for joining us, and just give out your number one more time and the information so that we just want to reiterate that.
Her number is in the chat there, Gary. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has it in the chat. Yes.
Okay.
So the chat and then the socials at the allcancersgroup.tt. You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, and that is our banking information, the official banking information of the organization. You can call me, volunteer, donate, and support in any way that you can, in numerous ways that you can. So thank you so much again. I know you said to call you Gary, but I would prefer to say Mr. Gary or Mr. Mahabir.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me and for getting me in connection with all of for everyone here, Dr. Fazir, Mr. Singh, and
I'm a nurse, not a doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Parum. Dr. Parum is the doctor.
Yeah. No, she looks like a doctor, by the way. She looks like a doctor.
I agree. I automatically assumed that she was also a doctor, right? And Dr. Parum Maharaj, thank you so much for your input. Definitely would like to keep in contact with you as well, too, for that information as well.
So I'm going to leave you with some more people, more professionals than there, to try to give you as much support. And anytime you have any information, within minutes I can put you up live and you could say what you need to, so this network is available to you and your organization.
Thank you so much.
All right. So that's a good night.
Thank you. Nice meeting you, Shady.
Thank you. Everyone have a blessed night. Bye.
Everyone. Are we done for the night, guys? I thought
we're going to continue with whatever you guys want to chat on. I just, wanted to keep certain conversation with her, so now we can go off in the political end if we want to. So I mean, I saw the condition of the Prime Minister office at Whitehall, and it is heart-wrenching, to see.
It's shameful.
All the money that was spent.
It's shameful. Not the heart-wrenching.
And they're trying to blame our Prime Minister for not wanting to go there. I mean, they're trying to deny the fact our people is living in denial. Something is wrong with them because there is vast denial
Well,
of the reality of things that are taking place.
but Gary, it's not the people, it's the press, the media.
Well, not
These
but
are
the
the
people,
people.
not only press and the media, the people are just sucking up to it and believing that we making up the stuff. But I'm happy that they took some footage to bring that information to that dilapidated condition of Whitehall, and that is the Prime Minister office. So where was Dr. Rowley and the wannabe prime minister, who was the short-term prime minister, was meeting people? I mean, conducting business.
They
Even
were
the staff that was there is under duress.
in St. Clair, up there where the Prime Minister office is. I used to go there often. It was opposite my office. But that has limited space and so on. But that's where they hold the cabinet from time to time. But that is, I would say, the real big boys in the party. The rest of the staff can anchor up anywhere without nothing to do. So a lot of people in the office in St. Clair were less like, if you were for the opposing party, they will put you in a corner and just leave you there. You don't do anything for the entire day. And that was their job spec. Like the procurement legislator. He didn't have nothing to do for the 5 years. Nothing. He's head of procurement. They didn't pass the legislation, so his job was redundant, but they paid him. And this is what we're seeing.
Could you imagine the amount of work that Dave Tanku as Minister of Finance have to do?
Tell me, he's a Pfizer from down by me. He's a Pfizer bad boy,
Yeah, but I'm just saying because of the level, and it wouldn't end. I mean, it will be much more than when he comes with his report, because they will eventually find other things. They
cannot do that in a week time. They have to hire what's called an accounting firm. They've specialized, like Deloitte and these people, these renowned accounting firms who can go through the accounts and tell you what is your cash flow, your balance sheet, your income statements, all these things. Tanku cannot do that.
Welcome, Cindy, Ruplal, and Riaz, Takisha, Sally Ram Logan, and all our listening audience. Go ahead, Suman.
Yeah, so these things, public servants cannot do that, Gary. It has to be someone skilled in accounting who knows a lot of government-style accounting. And because we don't know the debts we have to pay. How much are the loans? What are the terms and conditions of the loans? What are the monthly payments? When are these loans becoming due? 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, what? We don't know those data. We don't know those facts. What are the interest rates we pay? We don't know. So how can you calculate this current scenario to say, well, we have X amount of dollars? If you have X amount of dollars, but you have so much projected payments to make at different rates and at different years, let's say 2027, 28, 29, and then you have balloon payments after that, meaning that you have to pay the entire principal at that time. Dave Tanku cannot do that job in a matter of a few days because a lot of things were under secrecy. So that's a big, massive problem.
Dr. Parum Fazia, you want to say anything at this point?
No, I agree. I agree with Suman. You're spot on. We have no idea what debt they left this country in, only what we've seen on the news. We don't know whatever secret deals they had hidden in the back we haven't uncovered yet. Like, we don't know what state the country's in.
We don't know the state of the country. We don't know whether we have cash on hand. Let's say you want to pay public service at the end of the day. We don't know if they have money.
Like, there's nothing I wouldn't put past that previous PNM government because they are the most crooked, underhanded, evil governance we've ever experienced.
Oppressive.
I can tell you in Tobago, when the TPP won election, they were saddled with $1 billion of debt, which nobody told them about. So how can the Tobago, current TPP government in Tobago move forward? You have to clear that debt first.
Yeah.
Right? And then Tobago gets $220 million per year. But you have to pay $1 billion.
Yeah.
And these are the P&M big contractors who signed contracts. How did they not deliver on time or part deliver, yet they send you for billing for the entire project and then deliver a quarter of the project.
That's the MO, right?
Huh?
That's the MO. They pay before they collect.
Yes.
Yeah. And all the money is wasted. Yeah. That's the MO.
That's how they siphon money to the politicians.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That's exactly how they do.
And their friends.
Yeah. And their friends, correct. Yes.
Well, as I always say,
the same thing could happen in Trinidad. There's no way they can know in 5 days or so how much money the country has. There's no way. And I happen to know the Minister of Finance very well. He was in the university with I am, Vishudan Paul. And he was in Washington with when I was there, went to school in George Washington University. And he used to go to the IMF building, which is next door to me. Yeah. I happen to know that he as well, but he's a smart, sharp guy. But he's not saying anything. He is not saying anything. So it's like you have to go with a wild goose chase and figure out things yourself. You know?
Yeah, that'll be a tough hill to climb, actually.
It is. It is. They will not get a true picture on how much money there is.
And still after some time. Maybe within a year, they might probably have an idea.
This year I have so much money right now. I have so many bills right now. It's just like your personal checking account. If you don't have your bank savings, you don't know how you can pay your bills. How are you going to pay your bills?
Yeah.
You don't know where is the income. How much income do you have? Your expenditure is more than your income at this point in time. So how can you manage? Are you going to manage? I feel sorry for these guys, and I really, really feel sorry.
No, this ENC has a very, very tough job. They're starting from negative.
I think we have a tougher job than 2010.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh my God, way tougher than that. Way tougher than that.
And you superimpose that, Gary, with the promises on the platform, and you see you're in a double whammy. You're promising to pay people 10%. You start in negotiations and 10% to all public servants, oil field workers, seamen and waterfront workers, the port people, all these people. But I don't know, because I don't know how much money the country has.
They have hemorrhaged.
And I want to make it absolutely clear for those who run in their mouth about our Prime Minister. She is working. She is working more hours behind the scenes, handling her business, putting things in order. She don't have to stand on a stage in front of you like she's campaigning to manage our country.
And she don't have to be in an office.
Who are running your mouth, our Prime Minister is at work.
She don't have to be in his office to do that. You can walk out of home. What's the problem with working out of home? Once you're running the country and the country runs efficiently, you're okay.
Our Prime Minister is handling her business. She's handling the job that she was employed by the population to do, and within a short period of time, you will see the effects and results of what she's doing. So for those who are out there making mischief and running their mouth, come again.
Yes, you're right.
That will always be. That will always be. There are a lot of scams that you will see more later on that will come out. It was done secretly behind public eyes. No, these businessmen have committed.
We have to bring everything onto the light. Yes. Kamla,
all this amount of money, they will not have that in the country. They already took that out of the country, has it separately. Or you see, as the police here say, you have to be a thief. To catch a thief, you have to think like a thief.
Yep.
You understand? So you will know his strategy. And when you just pin down one, the rest will see what's going on and they will surrender. That's all. Right? But this will take a lot of time of this vampire government that have drained the country, no, in every way suffer the people. But
And take a very large sum of money for themselves and refusing a lot of money missing,
yes,
billions of dollars missing. This cannot be excused. They have to give account for this money, and they better come forward with it. We are not tolerating. If
They need to be
feel
put in jail is what they need to be done.
if
for
they
them.
feel they're going to play
Need to be
games,
put in
I'm not
jail.
going to work with this.
All of them.
The UNC government.
All of them is right.
you
All
see,
of-
Rowley just cut his throat that day before yesterday. When he made an interview that how much billions of dollars he have left in an investment coming into the country.
Oh my God.
Why he didn't say all of that for the past 10 years? He
Correct.
just cut his throat the day before yesterday. That's if you look at
All of
the
a sudden you
scientific way.
Well, it take you 10 years to get the investment in the country, and you take the biggest piece of the cake for yourself, right?
Yes.
Right? You take the biggest piece of cake for yourself. You take 99% of the cake for your administration and your friends and associates, and suffer the people. Shut down our oil refinery, which was our biggest source of revenue.
Criminal.
And
Criminal.
guys, every aspect of our business. I mean, you name it. The health sector is in chaos. The school system, the Ministry of National Security, the police force. I mean, our border is totally wide open. I mean, you name every single thing that we can think of. It's not just like one area. Every single thing that you can think about is in chaos, and so I mean, who are they trying to fool? But they're trying to spin this, and when they can't get through with this, they go pull the race card and try to turn and say, Kamala, do it, we being biased and we fooling people. All this thing nonsense they try to derail people, but the people was smart this time, and especially the young people. I strongly believe we had a lot of the support from the young people came out, and they couldn't stop them. They couldn't change their mind because they know they had a prime minister in waiting that loved the people, care about the people, and that is what we have. And we're going to build this out. We're going to build a structure. They just need some time to flush out the glitches and put things in place. I mean, there's a lot of mess. I mean, I'm sure they need some bleach inside of there to clean up all the mess, to deal with it.
Gary, I think a lot the younger people really went to town for this election. And the impact of that basically is the news on social media rather than the traditional media. The younger people are more into social media, so they're getting more of the correct information rather than reading the headline newspaper, listening to the news.
I intend to bring the evidence as much as possible here on this platform.
Yeah, but the social media was the one that young people gravitate to, especially millennials and so on, the XYZ age group. So they relied more on the social media and what their friends were saying, and through that communication channel rather than reading the newspaper
and the government control.
All of them, all the media houses are government control. Every single one. Newsday, Express, Guardian, TSN.
More or less now, the PNM Costa Nostra control. Put it that way.
Yes,
call it as it is. Right?
TTT and CNC3 and TV6.
I mean, there's so many things happening in the country over the 10 years that they never brought to the public. There's so much suffering. There's so many things that that went on in our country that they don't broadcast at all. They don't interview. Let me tell you something. When I started helping those people stranded outside the country, we couldn't get no coverage. We couldn't get no coverage. It's all the way down into September month. Then they started to show some interest because the information piling up, and it is undeniable. And people were. Stuart Young went as far when people went to their social media to cry out about help and threatened them that they will have to wait longer for an exemption if they go on the media and social media and make any noise or anything like that and complain. That wicked man who run around hugging.
Yeah, he was being a dictator. He was being a
All right.
dictator. Yeah. He wanted to rule with an iron fist because he wasn't getting his way.
Well, I mean, Dr.
Oh.
Reddy gave him the privilege to rule the iron fist from
Yeah,
day one.
yeah, yeah. That's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot prevent a citizen from coming to their own country.
You
You're
know,
not above the law. But they thought that they were.
I was so lucky. I went home that day. The day I reached home, 20th of March, 2020. That's the day they closed the airport. I reached home at 8 o'clock in the night from Miami because
Wow.
my son, he was in university, so he got spring break on the 20th of March. So he let go and spend a week down in Trinidad. And we got locked down in Trinidad till October the next year. 18 months. He couldn't go to university, no university life for him. Midland. So basically, it's like 2 years. He locked out of the country. Couldn't travel, no way.
Yeah. We were the only country that locked out our own citizens. Only country. Every other country sent a plane, sent a boat, sent whatever it was to bring their people back home and have them safe.
And you know what? You have to have your Trinidad passport to enter into the country that day. That last flight, when we were going down home, we couldn't use our American passport. We had to, thank God we had Trini passport. So,
but even American passports say that you're born in Trinidad and Tobago, but they're so stupid in the first place. But, there was so much issues. I mean, and I was giving them the feedback, letting them know I was doing this for country. There was no politics involved with this at this stage. I went totally against them when I saw they refusing to listen. Welcome, Denise. We have Saucy back in.
Thank you.
Hi, Saucy.
Good evening, everybody. Hi.
Hi. Good. Welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you.
New hairstyle.
Yes. I went natural tonight. I went natural.
Me too. Me too. Look.
Yeah.
You mean coconut oil?
I just went and shake tonight. That's it.
I went natural too. I didn't know.
Yes, and I like that natural.
Very natural.
Ball head.
Naturally.
How is everybody tonight?
Good. Saucy is naturally trouble.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, so we were just finished chatting with a young lady that she started an awareness foundation in reference to like a support system for cancer, and mental health. They're doing an event on May 17th, and I just wanted to give her some exposure and support and let our international diaspora know what's going on so they could lend a hand.
Yes. Is this going to be in Trinidad or in New York?
In Trinidad. She's in Trinidad.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to let my people in Trinidad know also so they can go and give her some support.
It's always on the chat here, so her number.
Yeah, I'm going to send you the flyer.
on the chat there.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I will forward the flyer to you. And so I just, try to give us some help, with the situation, as what's taking place. So people know, how to get involved, how to help. And, we have so much educated young people doing nothing. And we need to focus them on volunteering and giving them experience and how critical it is. I mean, they got the free education, and I mean, there should be a sense of giving back to country. But I think there's a lack of structure in many instances where the young people does not know about certain things and how they can help and know that they are needed to help.
That's very true.
So this platform will be utilized for everything possible to help our country. It's a mission, it's a rescue mission, and the rescue mission is not completed. We just started. People think that we won the war. We just won one battle, and we conquered the beach. Now it's to conquer the country. I don't to get comfortable what we won. We didn't won the war. We won a battle. So don't get complacent. There's much work. The job just started, and as long as we have that honorable prime minister there, this is what you call an honorable prime minister. and who loves her people. We're going to collaborate. We're going to give all the support. We're going to connect and build as much as possible.
You know what I love about the Honorable Prime Minister is that she has heart and she feels people's plight, and I don't think it's an act. Sometimes you see people and you say, that is a show, that is for some kind of props. She's naturally somebody that has a heart and feels people's pain, and would do anything in her power to make sure that you're okay. And that is what really drew me to her all the years before, from 2010 to now. And I'm not gonna leave her out at all. I'm gonna be here for her. Even if she misbehave, I just gonna and say everybody have their bad days. So this is just a bad day.
What misbehavior in the first place they could talk about, but the thing about it is, I admire how our people ambush the PNM.
Yeah, well, oh
Last
God.
minute, they came out, and you could
When I
see
looked at the Trinidad
they love
map,
this lady. They show how much they love this lady. I mean, you see
Yeah.
law pouring out, and you had no idea that how much these people love this lady. We didn't think
until everything was over, when I saw the map, I was like, huh?
but I mean,
What?
we're talking about the last
Yes,
part of the campaign here.
This
It's all
is crazy in a good way.
and that is what I keep on telling you. The press had a big role to play. They never highlighted anything. In fact, they all say,
Yes,
"Oh,
they didn't. You're right.
she cannot win another leg, and she cannot win another election. She's done.
Yes.
She's finished. There's cabal there. There's this.
Yeah, and if they want to win, to replace her like somebody was better than her.
all this
They had no
stumbling
idea.
blocks,
I just love how these people came out
Yes,
and demonstrated how much they love this lady.
The country
I mean,
came and they
Yes.
shut everybody up.
and
yeah,
all
they
these
really
stumbling
ambush
blocks.
everybody. These performers, the young people. I mean, Iowa George, all of them just came out, but really good military tactics. You could
Y'all
say
please
that.
forgive the noise, eh? I'm still at the radio station and I'm trying to run from the
Okay.
noise. Sorry.
So
Okay.
yes,
No,
Gary,
but
with all
like
all the
we
licks she
discussed
gets,
something last night, and let's focus on how we can help. Bringing people on board.
I say it's like all the licks she get, and she still came up number one in class because she
She's the
defeated
Phoenix. That's the Phoenix.
Pandey, Manning, Rowley, Stortong. These four big men got hammered.
I mean, to tell the truth, her performance in winning this election outwhipped Pandis by miles.
Everybody,
Thousands of miles.
Yes,
every
by
single
far. This is the greatest of all time. That is what I call the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
That's correct. That is the GOAT.
She outwit them, man. She put everybody in the back seat.
Yes.
Against all odds, against all odds, she whipped them badly.
She did. She stood her ground despite what her own party members threw at her.
Exactly.
She still stood up with grace and she let them speak, and now people spoke for her. So they can be shut up.
You can't say nothing bad about our leader here. You're in trouble. These people are
Yes.
not,
I see that. And then there's still those that are still, trying to make a point, and the point is just not making no sense. But I just leave them to talk because they have a mouth to talk. And at the end of the day, she won outright. The people showed that they were fed up and tired of the fight down and the dictatorship and the roughing up for no reason. And again, it ain't no rig nothing. It was outright winning because the people wanted change. And thank you to the people that voted for the UNC. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's the love they have for this lady, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, how they lash out and stood with her. It's really amazing.
I saw quite a few little, individual video clips with interviews of people, all grannies, young men and women, all calling her Auntie Kamala,
Yes.
addressing her with such peace and endearment, and being so happy that she won and having hope for themselves. Like
Yes.
it brought a good sense of, I don't know, a sense of overwhelmed love came over me when I saw these people talking about
Let
it in
me
such kindness.
Across
let me
the
let me let me
different
let me describe how I see how the youth especially look up at her. You see how a child would look up at their mother
Mm-hmm.
and their grandmother when they cook or do something that the child really enjoys or loves. That's how I see the people, especially the youth, embracing, as they call her, Auntie Cam. And it's just an overwhelming blessing. It's a great feeling. Again, goosebumps just saying what I'm saying because I feel the same way. When I look at her with red adoration, adoration. I look at her like how I used to look at my mother and even my grandmothers because she is a woman that have
Yeah.
children and she have feelings and she have a heart. And I love that.
And
I am way over here in Canada, and I felt a sense of relief when that election was won. My
Yes.
goodness, as if I was home. I
You didn't
felt
feel it
such a
yourself.
sense of relief and hope for my country. My goodness.
Yes.
You didn't feel the body get light in a way. That
Yes.
Immediately.
came out of
It's
your
true.
body.
The
The
stress just drained.
heaviness came out, and you feel so light as a personal life. Oh my God, something has been lifted off my shoulder.
Yes.
I
And that
think
was
every
for
single
country.
person felt that way.
That is for country.
Yeah.
Um,
I think everyone felt that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
She has the groundswell and the ground support. But, the youths came out, I think, because of the social media now, they were, as I said before, but a lot of them would have gotten laptops and they will be in their mid-20s now. Who got the
Correct.
initial laptops.
That's
So
my
they-
kid. My daughter is 25 and 24.
Right, I remember you saying that, yeah. So
Yes.
what happened? They remember that. Hey, that was the only prime minister that gave me, my sister, my brother,
Yes.
steps. So what do you get from all the other prime ministers? Nothing. But they will
Headache.
remember
To get a headache.
that you got a headache. And when we were small, not only laptops, we got Christmas toys and you went personally and distribute these things. The children remember these things more than anything else.
Of course.
And this is
Of
what
course.
caused the shift among the younger people to go and vote for them. Now, this generation, what's coming up now, this 12-year-olds who are going to get laptops this year, by the time they are 15, 16, 17, they too will remember that.
Of
So,
course.
We have to ensure UNC and Auntie Kamala continue for another good 10, 15 years at least
Yes.
to
Yes.
carry through and to complete what they're going to begin this year.
And let
They
me just
fight
say
for
this.
at least another 10, 15 years.
I am proud to be on board and I am going to the end of time. I keep saying to everybody, I want to live to be 105. So if I live to be 105 and Auntie Kamala is in the mix, I did.
Only
I
105?
Yes.
you have to ask Dr. Parum to do some stem cells on you.
Yes, I don't mind. I don't mind. My heart. I need a stronger heart.
Well, I'm going back to Tobago this year, so I'll invite you back to do all our functions as I did in 2012, 13, 14, and 15.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. And let me just say this, you see, in 2015, that was a life-changing time for me. That's when my mother died. And it's like I gave up on life and everything. And the Honorable Prime Minister gave me hope in 2025. Even though she lost the election, it didn't matter because there were things that she did and said and stuff to the nation that made me feel to live again. I gave up on my life and gave up on my career because I felt like, what is the purpose of me doing what I do best? which is perform on stage. I've been on stage since the age of 7. And my mother has been very instrumental in my career as my momager. And when she died, everything died with me. And because of what the Honorable Prime Minister did and was doing in those years, it still gave me hope, even though she lost the election. So, I mean,
That says a lot.
she had to call the police for me to stop being a supporter. And I know she not. She's gonna say she's overdo it. She support me too much. I don't like it.
No, she wouldn't say that.
I know that. I'm just being wild.
Yeah.
Because you're looking sleepy. Is it
I
late?
am tired. You can see my eyes are closing. I am tired. It's
Yes, because of the time difference too, where she is.
11 here.
You're
Yes.
Yeah, it's 11:15.
11:15.
11:15 here. Yes.
Oh,
She's in Newfoundland,
yeah.
That's
Canada.
right. So
One
I am
and a
going to
half.
sign off for
Yes.
tonight. And
Have
I
a
will
restful
see you guys
sleep.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you
Miss
so much.
Songbird.
Enjoy the evening.
You have such a beautiful aura. And
Do
I'm
I?
happy to know you. Yes.
Well, I am happy to have met you online. I gotta meet you in person now. Definitely.
No problem. No problem.
Honored to meet
Make
you.
sure she
Only heard
performs
about
for you.
Denise. I never met Denise.
Okay.
Because she's an
Thank you, Gary.
international- She's an
I
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Fazia, for taking the time to join us alter your busy schedule. I know you know, especially being on those long hours and things like that.
Yeah.
So, I
no
mean, even if
worries.
you could join for 5 minutes, we deeply appreciate that.
No,
And I mean,
I
Denise taking
appreciate
her
this
time
platform. I
to
want to
jump on.
contribute. I want to keep abreast of what's happening, and and
Right.
it's good for us to communicate and make sure that all voices are being heard. And,
Yes.
and correct people are hopefully supporting us to get the right things done in our country.
Thank you, Varsha. Take it right. So, with that, Sumant,
Good night, guys.
Parom, anything
Good
you guys
night.
have to say us? We're going to close up.
Have a blessed day.
Yeah,
I say bless all, and bless our Prime Minister.
Yeah.
We need all that praise because they will do hard on her always. We have to pray plenty for her to
Yes,
protect her.
we do.
Definitely,
We
we're
do.
not going to sit by and allow them to brutalize her and bring
No,
down
at
the government.
all.
We want to
At
make
all.
sure that this government, we do everything to support this government and moving forward. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you guys for joining me and supporting me here with this this effort. That I would say good night, everybody.
Okay.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone. Thank you so much
Good
for
night,
having me.
Bye-bye.
All the
Param
best.
has sent
Ma.
some
Good night, everybody.
information to you. Param, did you receive?
Huh?
I sent some information to you today. Did you get it?
No, I didn't check my email. I'm going
Okay.
after here now. I'll go check there and I will message you.
All right, guys. Take care. Good night.
Take care. Good night.